why we picked a finite moment, a particle state, to step into as an infinite light being. You stepped into a particle state so you could feel.
Hi, I'm Sandra and welcome to my channel. And those who are already subscribed to my channel, hi my little stars. This video is a suggestion for another video which blow my mind in a sense that it's so motivational, so that anytime you need motivation, you need something to lift you up, you should watch this video. I'm not going to tell you what's all about. I'm not going to tell you anything, but just give a link for this video in my description. But I'm going to give you some statements, some sentences, something that I liked in this video. And I hope you will love it as much as I do. You know, we all have some, not some, but we have our ups and downs. And that's normal, you know. Life is like a pendulum, like going up and down and up and down. And those moments when you are down, they're not bad. They're teaching you something. They're telling you something. And after that down, when your pendulum of life is going up, you feel, I cannot say wiser, but you feel like you're fulfilled with nothing but fulfilled, you know? I mean, it can be some feeling, but most of the time you don't know why you are like, wow, you know? So without further ado, I'm going to give you some of the lectures, some of the teachers that were in this video, but just what the parts that I like, or sentences that I liked. And I sincerely hope you will watch this video. I mean, not mine, but theirs. Enjoy it.
Yes, I'm standing up on a stage, but please don't outsource your power thinking I have something figured out that you don't. We are in this together. We are equals. We stand in a circle, not a pyramid. There is no one that has got it more figured out than you. You have the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of queendom in your heart.
I don't know if you know where Arcadia is, the actual Arcadia. That's in Greece. The story of this place, of Arcadia, was that the most important god of Arcadia was someone that is very well known and also very weird. It's the god that we all know as Pan. We are in a time of panic. We're in a time that people is panicking for anything, whatever.
We may not get to the promised land ourselves, but we keep on walking in the conviction that our children or their children might. The question's not having hope, it's being hope. Both heaven and the future are waiting to see what we do next.
Would we maybe see them a little bit differently? Would we maybe start asking ourselves the question, why did I want to learn this experience? It is our natural tendency when something goes wrong to immediately want to place blame as a result of our feeling shame. This is how we build our personas. We start our lives out in this moment of separation. We get separated from our mothers, and immediately we try to figure out what will make us feel happy and prideful versus what things that we might do that actually bring us shame. And then we pass that shame on to other parties. This is a game we've lived for thousands and thousands of years, but we now live in an age of revolution. It's not a revolution that's going to happen just outside of us. In fact, that revolution will only happen from within. This is a revolution when we start to realize that we are the creators of our experience. No one else is responsible for the experience that we have, and we chose all of it. Every single experience that each and every one of us have, we chose. We are empowered. We are absolutely co-creators of this experience that we have every day. And guess what? It's the things that we judge are the things that we continue to attract until we no longer judge the things that we have attracted. But we think that we're going through life in this happenstance way and that life just happens to us. Life happens to us and sometimes it sucks. We all go through suffering and difficulty, and the first tendency we have is we want to blame somebody else for it. Somebody did something to me. Is that an empowered way to think? If we chose every experience that we have and we absolutely knew it, how would we look at the difficult circumstances we face in life?
And y'all chose to be here, which is a pretty radical thing to think about what you go through in a week and the heartbreaks you might feel and the separation you might sense and the sense of disconnect you might fight against. This new future that we all dream of and we're wanting has occurred and is right in front of us. That in this decade that we are in, between 2017, 2027, in that decade, the genomics of our species would shift to lose the genetics of fear, guilt, and shame. Take deep breaths, because in the base of your lungs, you hold grief.
When someone is truly awakened to the reality of their divinity and their co-creation, that is revolutionary.
You are a sovereign being that has chosen to be here to feel. And so we honor all of it. We honor the pain, we honor the suffering, we honor the ache that is in us. It's a deep knowingness that we are not complete yet. That ache is an expression of a soul that knows completion is possible. Your soul is actually a sacred geometry that is extremely specific to you. Souls aren't like a bunch of little candle flames hovering above our heads. Each is a sacred geometry that holds a gravitational force equivalent to a sun. And so I want you to tune into your soul that's likely to be hovering some 10, 15 feet above our heads. So I want you to tune into your soul structure, your light being. Tune in there and see what comes forward in your mind's eye. What is the geometry that unfolds in your vision?
Doing things the same way and expecting a different result is the definition of what? Insanity.
Self-love is not something you can generate, because love is not something that comes out of human biology. Love is the experience. It is simply an experience. It is not an emotion. It is not a thing. It is an experience. You chose to feel, see, hear the beauty so that you would be witness to a divine state of the universe that is called God, that is called everything. Because to be a soul is to be part of everything, to be an element so elementally connected to it that you cannot see the whole, or because you are the whole.
Destiny. Maybe destiny is just the free will of the higher self. Maybe destiny is just the free will of the higher self. Everything is happening for you.
Whoever you look into the eyes of for 2 minutes, you will fall in love with, because you are seeing the resonance of yourself. In an egoic split mind, when you look at another beautiful human being, all you can see is vibrations of yourself.
You can love every single experience. Let's not complicate the world. It's not a universe, it's a you-inverse. What we experience in the world around us is actually what is reflected from the inside of us outwards.
There is no other person on earth that can complete you. There's no other purchase. There's no other education threshold or milestone that you can get that is going to cause a completion to occur. There's only one completion left, and you are working towards it tonight. To bring yourself into an alignment with a sacred geometry of your beingness, your soulness, that is so complete in its geometry that it has been coherently traveling space and time for eons.
So don't try to get rid of your fear. Fuck that, it's impossible. Don't even bother. Just apply the opposite polarity, bravery.
Now take a deep breath in, hold it on the inhale. And any part of you that does not believe in magic, synchronicities, and the majestic nature of being human, and any part of you that is playing small, that feels unworthy, that is in comparison, we're going to exhale it through the mouth in 3, 2, 1, sighing it out.
We're here for love. Now, when we have this really high frequency of love, and you walk in this room and you just feel this frequency of love and acceptance, what's the thing that kills it? What's the big, great vibe killer of a love frequency? Fear and judgment. Dun, dun, dun.
The beautiful thing about closing our eyes is that when we close our eyes, we access the realm of infinite possibilities.
And what is Pan? Pan is the animal aspect of the being. It's related to all the low chakras, which are fertility, reproduction, sexuality, the roots of the planet. So it's the connection with the world. Pan represents the savage aspect of everyone. And we are panicking in our civilization because we lost something very important. The thing is that Pan was having so much fun and enjoying life that Christians used to say, that's not good. You should not, because our Savior killed himself in order to save us all, so we have to suffer. So you should not enjoy, you should not have fun, because it's like a disrespect to the Savior. So they took Pan and created the image of the demon. The demon never existed before until someone got the idea. Okay? So that being was actually the god of fertility, the god of dancing, music, having fun, etc. And this being Pan, he actually started to rule the planet in chaos because he was annoyed. He's not being able to enjoy, to have fun. So he was repressed during almost 2,000 years. And that's why all our lower chakras, which is the RAM part, are repressed, controlled. So all the energy, to create matter, to manifest, is in here, in these chakras, down here. So we have repressed that because we have to suffer instead of enjoying of the reality. So for 2,000 years, our cells have been taught, you should not enjoy, otherwise you are committing a sin.
And we don't just do this work for ourselves, we do this work for our children and our children's children, 7 generations back and 7 generations forward, to remember what it means to be alive. Because it is the greatest gift we can ever receive.
But something is changing. What is happening? That our minds are starting to get unlocked from the repression from one side and opening all the energy of Pan outside. And that's panic, chaos. What we have lived for a long time, but in this spirit is like crazy.
This is about ascension. We live in the age of revolution, and that revolution is happening within each and every one of our hearts. It's about achieving a different way of looking at the world.
So the 2 phases of Pan, whether we choose to get crazy and annoyed and with conflicts and running scared around the world, or we awaken the other part, which is the feminine side, the fun, party, dancing, enjoying, which was the spirit of Arcadia 3,000 years ago. A new matrix. Matrix means mother in Latin. So a new mother, which is a new planet. So we have to choose, as I said before, if all this new realization of the matrix, the new realization of our goal in this planet, what the plan that our ancestors from Arcturus have set for us, we have to choose whether we are the Arcadians that woke up Pan from a nap, or if we are partying with Pan. Okay, so, and the hands are the manifestation. Do you know the etymology of manifestation? Manifestation comes from Latin mani, which means hands, and festation, which means party. Manifestation means to make a party with the hands. The movements of that energy, when they flow up to the heart, when you move yourself, they go through the hands for manifestation. So it's the heart being manifested.
What were you doing when you were 5 years old? Singing, dancing, realizing that children are geniuses because they are still connected to the magic that lives within them. And those that actually are the ones that pioneer the direction that we're moving in are the ones that's in a child state alive.
So have fun, remembering that fun is actually the movement of the creative energy inside that has been stuck for 2,000 years in your cells. It's important to know that we are the elements. We are made with the elements. So sometimes we forget that we can move them because we are them. Panic is something that is within us all the time. So as I said, you shouldn't avoid panic. We have to transform panic into pan. Okay, the house of fun, basically. So the transition from the panic to the fun, let's say, would be to acknowledge each one of our fears and thank them. First of all, thank them because they helped us to be here. Thank to each one of our organs. Thanks to each one of our fears, of our enemies. Thanks to the history that brought us here. So all of that was terrible made us what we are. And teaching your body that having fun is not a sin anymore. That enjoying is not terrible. Yeah. So let's remember that we will need always the fear. If you fear something that is about to happen or whatever, it's okay. It's not that, oh, to be spiritual, I have to be always up there. No. Spiritual basically means to breathe. So the cells are taking care of you to breathe, to be spiritual. Okay? So to be spiritual is not to be there, it's to breathe properly. So when you learn to breathe properly, when you are afraid of something, like taking care of how you breathe, you are actually becoming the real spiritual. You are balancing the energies of your body, taking care of yourself just with the breathing, always with the nose, in, holding, then out. And by that, you start to balance your panic towards the pan. This is why it's important. Don't be afraid of being afraid, okay? Don't be afraid of being afraid. Just face the fear and say, I'm okay with it. Thank you for coming to help me evolve.
Right? You apprentice. You learn best practices. You start low, you go slow, you build up. You have safety plans. There is something profound and beautiful about embracing our humanity, right? And it's that sense that our humanity lies at the intersection of our mortality and our...
What if the game was really to learn how to fall in love with this place? To love it as it is, a divine creation that you created, that you wanted to experience, that we can learn to love everyone and accept them, replacing fear in our lives with gratitude for every single moment that we experience and savoring it in, drinking life with the majesty that we are intended as divine creators to experience.
divinity.
The yellow brick road for me is synchronicity. It's those moments of magic that defy all logic, that defy any rational explanation, but they also feel familiar. It takes trust in the unseen to make miracles happen.
Stories are important. The story that you tell the body actually becomes manifest and true, and that's freedom. The freedom is when you pick up the pen and say, I don't care what everybody else has written. I don't care what I've written in the past. I'm going to write my story fresh, write my story new.
If you don't like what you see, change how you see it.